What
O
if I
primeiro
told
ponto
you there's a
crucial é este
carbohydrate
aqui.
considered
Ao seguir
healthy,
estas
hidden on
orientações,
food labels that
garantimos
can
os
raise your
melhores
glucose
resultados
faster than
possíveis
sugar
para todos.
itself? It's in your pantry right now, disguised, silent, and sabotaging your results. Today, you will learn how to identify and eliminate this invisible enemy that is preventing you from achieving your health goals. The mistake that is sabotaging your results after the age of 50, many people do everything right. They cut out sodas, eliminate sweets, buy zero-sugar versions and fitness products. They invest time reading packaging, choose options that promise to be healthier, and believe they are on the right track. But their glucose remains high in analyses, hunger returns faster than it should, and weight simply won't budge even with all the effort. The big mistake is relying only on the front of package highlights and completely ignoring the ingredient list. It is there, in those small letters that few read carefully, where the real villains are hiding. They disguise themselves with technical and scientific names: maltodextrin, modified starch, glucose syrup, dextrin, and dozens of other terms that go unnoticed. The big problem is that these ultra-processed ingredients are metabolized by the body extremely fast, generating glucose peaks as intense as, or even greater than, those caused by refined sugar, explains Dr. Carlos Mendez, an endocrinologist with over 25 years of experience. Many patients come to the office frustrated because they follow restrictive diets, but the results don't show up. When we analyze what they are actually consuming, we discover these
O
hidden
primeiro ponto
carbohydrates
crucial
in
é este
practically
aqui.
every
Ao
meal.
seguir estas
The most worrying
orientações,
thing is that these
garantimos os
ingredients
melhores
even appear in
resultados
savory
possíveis para
products,
todos.
where you would never
O primeiro
expect to
ponto
find something
crucial
that
é
affects
este
your
aqui.
blood sugar so
Ao
much.
seguir estas
They are in
orientações,
instant soups,
garantimos os
ready-made
melhores
seasonings, salad
resultados
dressings,
possíveis para
breads that
todos.
claim to be whole wheat, and even that yogurt you
O
bought
primeiro
thinking it
ponto
was a healthy
crucial é
option.
este aqui.
The
Ao
revelation that
seguir estas
changes everything:
orientações,
it's not your age
garantimos
that
os
is
melhores
causing the
resultados
problem.
possíveis
It is
para
the type
todos.
of carbohydrate you are consuming and, most importantly, the speed with which it turns into glucose in your blood. Some ultra-processed ingredients are so finely processed industrially that your body absorbs them alarmingly fast, generating intense glucose spikes and, immediately afterward, sharp drops. The result? A metabolic roller coaster that leaves you tired, with premature hunger even after eating well, an uncontrollable urge to snack on anything, and an enormous difficulty burning accumulated fat. It's a vicious cycle that seems impossible to break. When we consume these ultra-fast absorbing carbohydrates, the pancreas needs to release a very large amount of insulin in a short time, details Dr. Fernanda Costa, a nutritionist specializing in metabolism. This elevated insulin not only makes fat burning difficult, but also causes a sudden drop in glucose about 1 or 2 hours later. It is at this moment that you feel that weakness, trembling, irritability, and disproportionate hunger, even if you just ate. These hidden carbohydrates appear with frightening frequency in 5 product categories you probably consume regularly. 1. First, in protein bars and fitness shakes that promise to be diet allies. Many of them contain maltodextrin as the second or third ingredient, turning what should be a healthy snack into a glucose bomb. 2. Second, in instant soups and ready-made sauces, that powdered vegetable broth or industrialized tomato sauce may contain modified starch and glucose syrup to improve texture and flavor, adding fast-absorbing carbohydrates where you least expect it. 3/3, in breads, cookies, and rusks that claim to be whole wheat. Many products carry the whole grain seal on the front, but when you read the ingredients, you discover that refined flour is still the main component, accompanied by various additives and modified carbohydrates. 4. Fourth, in ready-made seasonings and meat or chicken broths, that practical seasoning you use to flavor rice or beans frequently contains disguised sugars and modified carbohydrates that you would never imagine were there. 5. Fifth, in industrialized yogurts, even though sold as healthy options, modified starch frequently appears to give a creamy consistency, adding unnecessary carbohydrates to a product that should be a source of protein. But why are these ingredients even worse than common sugar for people over 45? The answer lies in how our body processes insulin over time. Insulin sensitivity naturally decreases with age, explains Dr. Roberto Andrade, geriatrician and specialist in healthy longevity. When you are young, your body easily compensates for these spikes. But after 45, especially after 50, the metabolic response becomes less efficient. A high glucose peak demands much more insulin, and when it finally acts and glucose drops, you experience much more intense symptoms of weakness and hunger. Imagine a line on a graph representing common sugar. It rises and falls relatively smoothly. Now compare it with the line representing these ultra-processed hidden carbohydrates. It rises much more steeply and abruptly, reaches a higher peak, and then plunges sharply. The higher the peak, the more intense the hunger you will feel afterward. It's a biological mechanism impossible to control with willpower alone. The transformation. The 3x3 ritual. The time has come to swap these glucose spikes for real metabolic stability. I'm going to teach you the 3x3 ritual. A simple method you can use every time you go shopping or open your pantry to check what you already have at home. Step 1. The 3 words to hunt for on the label. There are 3 terms you need to memorize and actively look for on every label you pick up: maltodextrin, modified starch, and glucose syrup. These are the most common ways these hidden carbohydrates appear on ingredient lists. The secret is the position of these ingredients on the list, advises nutritionist Dr. Ana Paula Rodriguez. Ingredients are listed in descending order of quantity. If you find one of these 3 terms among the first 3 ingredients, it means that product contains a significant amount of that component. My recommendation? Put it back on the shelf and look for an alternative. Grab any product from your pantry now and do this exercise. You will be surprised by how many items contain these ingredients in the first positions. That cereal bar you thought was healthy? Check it. The ready-made seasoning you use daily? Check it. The tomato sauce in your cupboard? Read it carefully. Step 2. The 3 smart swaps. Now that you know how to identify the problem, you need practical and tasty alternatives. Here are 3 simple swaps that will transform your diet without complications. Swap number 1. Instead of that fitness cookie or protein bar loaded with maltodextrin, choose a handful of nuts or seeds accompanied by a square of 70% cacao chocolate or more. You will have good fats, protein, fiber, and a real sweet treat without the glucose spikes. Oilseeds offer prolonged satiety thanks to the combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats, explains Dr. Mendez. Unlike industrialized products, they do not cause sudden drops in energy. A swap number 2. Substitute that white bread or packaged whole wheat rusk for sourdough bread, made with truly whole wheat flour. Look for artisanal bakeries or learn to make it at home. The difference is in the ingredient list. A real bread has whole wheat flour, water, salt, and natural starter. That's it. Nothing else. Sourdough fermentation, besides improving digestibility, significantly reduces the bread's glycemic index, details Dr. Costa. It is a huge metabolic difference compared to industrialized breads that contain dozens of additives. A swap number 3. Abandon ready-made sauces, whether sweet or savory, and prepare simple homemade versions that take 5 minutes. Extra virgin olive oil, quality lemon or vinegar, fresh or dried herbs, garlic, salt, and pepper. Try making this basic combination, and you will never want to go back to those bottled sauces full of hidden sugars and preservatives. You can prepare a larger batch and store it in the fridge for use throughout the week. Step 3. The 3 habits that flatten the glucose curve. Identifying and swapping ingredients is fundamental, but there are 3 simple habits that further enhance your results, literally flattening that dangerous glucose curve. Habit number 1. Always eat protein first in the meal, before carbohydrates. Start with the egg, fish, chicken breast, or natural yogurt. Only then move on to the rice, bread, or potato. When we consume protein first, it forms a kind of barrier in the stomach that delays gastric emptying, explains Dr. Andrade. This causes carbohydrates to be absorbed more slowly and gradually, dramatically reducing the glucose peak. Studies show that this simple change in the order of food consumption can reduce the glucose peak by up to 40% after the meal. It's a powerful strategy that costs nothing and does not require eliminating any food, just changing the sequence. A habit number 2. Move for just 10 minutes after main meals. It doesn't have to be intense exercise. A light walk around the block, going up and down stairs, or quickly tidying up the house. Any movement helps. Muscle contraction during movement facilitates glucose uptake by muscle cells, independent of insulin, details Dr. Rodriguez. It's as if you are helping your body process that meal much more efficiently. A habit number 3. Eat dinner early, at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. This gives your body time to process the meal while you are still awake and active. When we sleep with digestion still happening, blood sugar tends to remain elevated throughout the night. warns Dr. Mendez. This impairs sleep quality, hinders nocturnal fat burning, and makes you wake up with altered blood sugar, starting the day already at a metabolic disadvantage. If you work late, plan a lighter, more nutritious dinner that you can have earlier. If necessary, have a tea or eat some nuts before bed, but avoid full meals close to bedtime. Your best years start now. You don't have to live in constant war with the scale or the glucose numbers. When you finally identify these hidden carbohydrates that were sabotaging your efforts, something magical happens. Energy returns consistently throughout the day, hunger naturally decreases, uncontrollable cravings disappear, and your body finally responds to your efforts. People who apply this knowledge report sleeping better, waking up more rested, being able to maintain focus for longer, and yes, finally seeing the scale move in the right direction. But more important than weight are the health markers. Stabilized blood sugar, better exams, less inflammation, and more quality of life. My patients frequently tell me they feel 10 years younger after we reorganize their diet by eliminating these problematic ingredients, shares Dr. Costa. And it's no exaggeration. When you stabilize your blood sugar, you are literally turning off one of the main mechanisms of premature aging in the body. Your best years are not in the past. They are starting now, with every conscious choice you make, with every label you read, with every smart swap you implement. Science is on your side. The knowledge is in your hand. All that's missing is action. Your next step: do you want practical help to clean up your pantry in just 15 minutes and identify all these hidden carbohydrates? I have prepared a complete checklist called the Hidden Carb Hunt that you can download for free. It brings all the names these ingredients can have, a table of smart swaps for each food category, and a checklist for you to use at the supermarket. The link is pinned here in the first comment. Just download it, print it if you want, and start your transformation today. And now I want to know from you. Which of these hidden ingredients do you find most in your pantry? Maltodextrin, modified starch, glucose syrup, or another? Comment below "I found plus" ingredient name, so I know. I will read all the comments and answer your questions. If this content made sense to you and can help someone you know, a family member, friend, or colleague who is also on this journey, share it now. Sometimes simple information like this can be exactly what someone needed to hear to finally understand what was blocking their results. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and turn on the bell to not miss the next videos. Every week, I bring practical, science-based content to help you have more health, energy, and quality of life after 50. Your best years start today. See you in the next video.